Okay, guys, we're going to continue from this question. We stopped at C. Question D says, how much will Jude have saved into his retirement package if he saves 1,000 Rand per quarter for 40 years? Now, these types of questions are exactly the same, quite simple to deal with. We're going to go with, no, we don't even need to be honest. Okay, so the p-value, should it be difficult? No, it shouldn't. It should be F. Yeah, okay. Let's go with F. Should be F. Should be I. Remember that the I was 13.6% divided by 4. So 0.034. We figured out that from the last questions. This guy put away 1,000 Rand. And he did it for, I know it's times 4. I just can't remember how long he did it for. Let me go and check. 40 years. So 40 years. So there are 4, 8, 12, 16. Okay. So F equals to x into a 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1 all over I. Okay. If we substitute, this would be 1,000. This is a 1 plus I, which is 1 plus 0.034 to the power of n, which is 160 minus 1 all over I, which is 0.034. Okay. Now, if we solve this, this guy got some money, got about 6,162,250 Rand, 86 cents. So, I mean, he does have money. But now, the next question says, Jude's friend has a retirement package that has an interest rate of 12.5% per annum, compounded monthly. He puts 1,000 Rand into the retirement package every month. Who will have saved more after 40 years? Okay, cool. So this guy, Jude's friend, is the exact same thing. F I X in N. This guy went for 40 years and he got it for 12 compounded monthly, so that's 480. He also puts 1,000 Rand for 40 years. I is 13.6% divided by 12. There is 13.6 divided by 100 divided by 12, and yeah, this should be 0.01133. And F is here. Same formula, F equals to X into 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1 all over I. I forgot to put a bracket here. We start working with questions like this. This would be 1,000 Rand. This would be 1 plus 0.0133. Power of 480 minus 1. And that equals to I. Oh, 0.01133. I missed a 1 over here, guys. And if we put that properly, this guy made a lot of money. Let me just confirm. There's 1,000 Rand into 1 plus 0.01133. The power of 480 minus 1 divided by 0.01133. Here, okay. This guy made 19,632 Rand. 212.33. Okay. Who made more money? Jude's friend definitely made more money. Let's move on to the next one. Question 4. So our goal is to get to quite a bit. Let's see. Okay. So this guy, his name is Declan. He's trying to decide which is a better investment, to buy a house or to save his money. He has 5,000 to pay towards the investment every month. Okay. Now, guys, when you buy a house, you talk about inflation. When you buy a car, you talk about depreciation. So we need to remember those ones. But let's go with this guy, right? The bank offers Declan a home loan with an interest of 11.6% per annum, compounded monthly. How much can he afford to spend on a house if the home loan is taken out over 20 years? The fact that they said home loan, automatically you and I should know this is present value. So this was 20 years and he's getting compounded monthly times 12, which is 240. I is 11.6% divided by 12, which would equal to, let's put it as 29 over 3,000. That's right. X is him using 5,000 and P is unknown. Okay, so if we're dealing with this, it's basic calculations. I don't think it's too much of a problem. P equals 2 x into 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of minus n all over I. X is 5,000, 1 minus, and this is 1 plus 29 over 3,000. This is minus 240. And this is a very simple calculation. I think the sinking fund and the stuff starts on the next questions, but I mean, let's do these ones to finish up, just so we have a memo for it. And this should be 465,840 and 71 cents. And this guy, he has this amount of money, right? Now, the next question says, what would the value of his house be in 20 years' time if the average rate of inflation is 7%? Now, remember that inflation is compound interest. So we need to remember this is compound interest. But for compound interest, we use A, P, I, and N. And this would be A is unknown. P gets carried forward. I don't know if they're going to use positive marking for you guys, so please make sure you're correct. The interest is 7%. They didn't say compounded anything. Very funny, when it's inflation, they don't want to compound. And N is 20 years. So A equals to P. Oh, this is not, let me double check. Okay. A equals to P, 1 plus I to the power of N. P is 465,840.71. And this is 1 plus 0.07 to the power of 20. And after 20 years, the house would be worth about 1.8 million. Okay. So this guy got 1.8 million. The bank also offers Declan a savings plan where he can deposit money monthly. The bank will give him an interest rate of 11% compounded monthly. How much would he have saved after 20 years? Okay. Now, what I would do with a question like this is definitely savings is future value. I know that. That's F, that's X, that's I, that's N. 20 years is there. Times 12 is 240. The interest rate was 11% divided by 12. And let me double check that one. 11% divided by 12. Ooh, that's a weird number. Let's use it as is. 11 over 1,200. X is him putting 5,000 away. And then F is there. Okay, cool. If we deal with this calculation very simply, I think you guys are tired of this calculation because it's quite simple, but 1 minus or 1 plus I to the power of, no, other way around, guys. Sorry. I'm using present value. I'm using future value, actually. So this is open bracket, 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1 all over I. Please double check everything. It's very easy to make mistakes with this. This is 5,000 into 1 plus I to the power of 240 minus 1. And this is all over, I is 11 over 1, 2, right? I ran out of space, guys. 1,200 to the 240. I was wondering why I had so much of space. And this answer should be 4 million some change. But it should be 4,328,190.19. 190.19. Okay. Now this one's done. Let's go with the next one. What will Declan's savings be worth in today's terms? The average rate of inflation is 7%. It's the same thing. If we had to go backwards, so guys, this 4 million is after 20 years. Okay. The next question wants to know, if we had to go back in time, what would his amount be? What would the amount that we get right now, 20 years before? So our n is 20. Our interest rate was 0.07. And this is 4,328, 190.19, and that's x. Okay, so all we have to do is work backwards to find out what would his money be worth today. And that's quite simple because that's 4,328, 190.19, and that equals to P into 1 plus 0.07 to the power of 20. And the answer, P, is around 1 million. So 1,118,400, and yeah, that should be his money. That's all there is. So again, we calculated how much his investment is worth 20 years. Now they said, okay, how much would his investment be worth today if they charged him 7% of inflation? So all I did was took his 4 million. I worked backwards, and the money that it would be worth today if he put 1,118,486 rand and 56 cents or 59 cents into the bank, 20 years later, he would have about 4 million. Is it better? Honestly, is it better for this guy to buy a house or invest his money? From looking at this, I think it's better for him to put his money into annuity because he makes over 3 million rand or makes more than 2 million rand rather than buying the house. Okay. The next question that we deal with is called sinking fund. Now, before we start to worry about what a sinking fund, trying to answer the questions, you and I should try and figure out how to answer this. So we got this person. We call this a short person. I don't know, somebody with A. So this short person has a truck. And all of a sudden, they own a company. And this truck is worth, let's say, 200,000. Okay, for some reason. Now, what happens is this person says, hey, in 5 years, I need to buy another truck. But I know my truck's going to depreciate. I know the truck's going to drop in value. Maybe it's going to drop to 120. No, maybe it's going to drop to 90,000. I'm just giving an unrealistic value. In 5 years' time, my truck's going to be worth 90,000. Okay. So I got my truck in 5 years' time. I know it's worth 90,000 because it depreciated in value. And this is 5 years later. But also, the new truck that I want to buy cost 250,000 rand. So now I want to sell my old truck for 90,000, but I want to buy the new truck for 250,000. So that means I need to save 250,000 minus 90,000 That's 250,000 minus 90,000. And I need to save 160,000. So now I need to set up some sort of investment to make sure that in 5 years' time, I have 160,000 plus my van's going to depreciate for 90,000. And then I'm going to add those two together and I'm going to be able to get my new truck. Okay. So this short person is Miss A. So that's the story of sinking fund. I think it's easy to understand. Let's put this lady here. Okay, let's give them a sugar cane and some hair. Okay, let's do them there. Now, Noah wants to buy a new truck for his business. The truck costs 900,000 brand new. Noah takes out a loan for the truck from the bank with an interest rate of 9.6%. 9.6% compounded quarterly for 5 years. He also decides to create a sinking fund because this is an investment. The bank offers him an interest rate of 9.6% compounded monthly. Okay. So what will Noah's quarterly payments on the truck be? Now, guys, Noah's truck costs 900,000. Please understand, it's a loan, so it has to be present value. The interest rate that they gave them was 9.6% compounded quarterly, which is 0.024. X was equal to an unknown because we don't know what his payments are, but we know N is for 5 years. This guy is paying it over in 5 years, and we have to times by 4 because it is quarterly. So that's 20 years. So if we use the present value formula, guys, please always double check this formula. It's very easy to make a mistake. It is quite simple to figure out what he's paying. Remember, X is the monthly installment, the monthly payments. So it's very simple. This would be 900K, which equals to X into, this is 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 0.024 to the power of minus 20. And this is all over 0.024. Okay, what I'd like to do is to simplify. If I had to solve this, I would take that over as multiplication. So it'll be 900,000 times 0.024. And I get 21,600. 21,600. That's equal to X into this nonsense. And I don't know what this nonsense equals to, but I'm going to find out. That's 1 minus 1.024 to the power of minus 20. And that equals to 0, comma, 377,698, some change. Thereafter, you and I know we have to divide. So 21,600 divided by that answer. And X equals to 57,188.48. So his payments are 57,188 Rand and 48 cents. This is a very fun number to pay, but yeah, we're done with that. Now, what will the value of his truck be in 5 years' time if the truck value depreciates at 15% per annum? So, guys, this is depreciation. Do not forget that the formula is minus APIN. There's no need to panic. That's 5 years. That's 15%, which is 0.15. His truck value is 900K. 900,000, and we don't know what it depreciates to. Right? There was multiple ways we could have dealt with this, but A equals to P. 1 minus I to the power of N. Don't forget this is minus because it's depreciation. That's 900,000 into 1 minus 0.15 to the power of 5. and his truck from 900,000 becomes 399,000. 334.78. Okay, so we know this is quite hectic, but that's a very big depreciation value. So now, what will the new truck cost after 5 years if the rate of inflation is 6.2%? Guys, this is the same thing. Let me take out the sugarcane parcel. And there. The rate of the inflation is A P I N, right? So P is new truck is 900,000. I is interest is 0.062 because it's 6.2%. N is 5 years, and we don't know what that is. So again, A equals to P. 1 plus I to the power of N. P is 900,000. That's 1 plus 0.062 to the power of 5. And that should equal to 1215 808.27. So 1,215,808 Rand. Okay. So it's not too bad. One truck depreciated, one truck appreciated. What would the monthly installment, what monthly installment should Noah make into his sinking fund if he trades his old truck as a deposit? Okay. Now, guys, realistically, this is a very easy question. Again, we go back to the story. He's going to sell his old truck. Okay. So his new truck cost 1,000. Let's just talk about his new truck. The new truck costs 1,215,808 Rand and 27 cents. His old truck, after 5 years, is going to cost 300,000 some change. 399,000. 334.78. That means this guy needs to save. He needs to save 816,000. He needs 816,000. 473.49. This is the amount that he needs to save. Okay. So for us to find out how much he needs to save per month, we go future value, X, I, N. And it's quite simple because they're going to give him 5 years times 12 is 60. The interest rate that they decided to give him for his sinking fund is 9.6% over 12, which is going to equal to 0.008. We don't know the monthly installments, but we know he needs 816,473.49. Thereafter, guys, this is just simply a future value formula question. All of these formulas, sinking fund, outstanding balance, missed payments, all of them just have certain ways of doing them. There's no need to panic. There's no need to stress. Learn the method behind it, and generally, it is quite easy. That should be there. And please don't mix up the future value and present value formula. I did it multiple times. Try and memorize it properly. So X is unknown. This is 1 plus 0.08 to the power of N, which is 60, minus 1 all over 0.008. So this one is also not correct. 0.008, and we should be able to work with it. The amount we need to save is 816,473.49, guys, and we start to work with algebra. If we work with algebra, let me check this video out from a sinking fund story. If we work with algebra, we take this over as times. So let's try. This is 816,473.49 multiplied by 0.008, and this equals to 6,531.79. And this equals to X into, this is 1 plus 0.008 to the power of 60 minus 1. And this would be 0.61299 some change. And that one would be 0.61299. 0.61299, and that answer shouldn't be too bad. Generally, I think we should be good. And the answer is this guy needs to save 10,655 Rand and 60 cents. Needs to save quite a bit of money. The last question, most likely the effective interest rate. Not too difficult for the bank's loan and the sinking fund. Okay, let's try and this one's question. Okay, cool. Let's do it on the top. Guys, the effective interest rate is always equal to a 1 plus I nominal over m to the power of m minus 1. Now, what is the m? Anybody knows what's the m or the n or whatever letters your teachers use? Let's call this the loan. So I effective again is equal to 1 plus I nominal over m to the power of m minus 1. Okay. Now, this one is easy because 1 plus the interest that they gave him for the loan was 0.096, if I'm not mistaken. Where was the loan? There's it here. And the M is the 12. The M stands for the monthly, quarterly, semi. All of those compounded numbers, that's what the M stands for. So again, semi is 2, quarterly is 4, monthly is 12, weekly is 52, daily is 365. And this is basically what it stands for. And the amount that we get for the loan is 0.0995, or when you times it by 100, it's 9.5%. We can end here, but I think I did make a mistake because it was quarterly. And I'm looking at my wrong answer sheet. It was quarterly. Let me double check because I did make a 1 plus 0.096 all over 4, the power of 4 minus 1. Yeah, okay. It is it was quarterly, guys. It's not monthly, it's quarterly. So I wrote it there, but I put something else in my calculator. But the last one, E, would be the sinking fund. For the sinking fund, it would be the exact same thing. It would be I effective equals to a 1 plus I nominal over m to the power of m minus 1. For the sinking fund, what did they give us? Sinking fund, 9.6% compound monthly. Okay, that's the monthly. So here, this would be 1 plus 0.096 over 12, all to the power of 12 minus 1. And this answer should give us 0.10034, which is 10.03%. And that's all there is to sinking fund. Okay, guys, question 6 says a certain town started off with 100 and, certain town started in 1970 with 500 people. If the town has, okay, like this one is quite simple already without even looking at it. If the town has 73,000 people in 2014, what is the average rate of increase per year? Okay, cool. So this town had 500 people, and then it went to 73,200 people, and it started off in 2014. I mean, it started off in 1970, but it ended in 2014. So the number of years should be 44 years. That's all. And then we would just use A equals to P, 1 plus I to the power of n. So when it deals with population, people, or anything living, you use compound interest. Whether it's death rate or birth rate, you have to use compound interest, okay? Yeah, and then to solve this, most likely you're gonna have to divide here. 73,200 divided by 500 equals to 1 plus I to the power of 44. Just to neaten this up, I'm going to do it in one step, guys, because I don't feel like putting a whole lot of decimals twice. I'm going to square root by 44. And most likely the root of 44 into 73,200 into 500. Yeah, okay, quick, very easy number, 1.119996957. Try not to round off anything until the final answer. That's 1 plus I. Let's minus 1. We get 0.1199996957, and that equals to I. And thereafter, this is times 100. And this should be 11.9999%. So this is 12%. And that's all there is to question 6. Okay, guys, for each of these, find the amount of time in years and months it would take to reach the final amount given, and what is the effective interest rate. So if we deal with this, we get 7A. Oh, there's Sarah. Sarah's here. Sarah is smart. Sarah is investing 13,270 rand. Okay. And receives 8% compounded daily. After n number of years, the investment is worth 20,900. Okay, cool. She didn't invest. A lot of people are going to go and use future value. But this is a simple question, right? It is really simple. It's just compound interest because we're not worried about calculating the monthly payments or anything like that there. It's just a one-time investment. It's a lump sum of money. So she invests 13,270. It ends up as 20,900, and the interest rate is 8% compounded daily. And that should be quite simple. N. If we are solving for n, most likely there's a few logs that's going to be needed. I don't think it's too difficult, but this entire question is literally just you guys fighting with algebra. So let's sort it out. I'll do it step by step, but if any of you don't understand, we'll sort it out. 365. 9, this is 2 over 9,125. 2 over 9,125, and that's to the power of n. Now, guys, this can be simplified. This can be simplified, and it's quite simple. Let's go with 20,900 over 13,270. That's 2,900 divided by 13,270, and that equals to some change. It's equal to 2090 over 1327. That equals to, if I simplify that bracket, 1 plus 2 over 9125. This one also becomes quite annoying, but 9127 over 9125, and that's the power of n. Guys, whenever you see an unknown n value, please understand you're using log. So we're going with log base answer equals to power. So log of the base is 9127 over 9125 to the power of 2090 over 1327. And the log button is directly underneath your on button. Do not choose the wrong one. 9127, 9125, 20, 90, 1327. This answer is a very weird answer. Ooh, this one could have been simplified a little bit more, but what did I have? This is, you know what's the funny thing? Okay, cool. So this answer is 2072.71 some change, right? But the reason this is like this is because remember, n was n times 365. So don't forget, like what we did, was that n was times 365. So this equals to 365n. And now I can divide my answer by 365, and we should be good. 5.6786 equals to n. Right, and we should be done with this, right? But they wanted it in months. Now, one of my students asked me, how do we get in months? Generally, you would take 5 years, and you would take whatever's left over. So 0, 6786 and times it by 12. I do think this number's off because of the decimals, but I do want to double check. 2,900 divided by 13,720. Yeah, okay. This was 13. 13,270. Okay, now it is fine, guys. It's cool. This is 0,06786, and we're multiplied by 12, and this is 1 month. Not 1 month, it can't be 1 month. 0.6786 times 12. This is 9 months, actually. Right. So, guys, when it comes to months, please round up. This would be 8.1432. So this would round up to 9 months. So 5 years, 9 months. That's all there is to this question. They want the effective interest rate. The effective interest rate is equal to 1 plus I nominal all over m, the power of m minus 1, 1 plus m, okay, okay. 1 plus sorry guys, 8%. I'm just looking at where I'm a bit lost here. 2, 2, 2, 3. What is the interest rate? Oh, 8%. Okay, cool. I don't want to lose stuff. 0,08 over compounded 365 days. And that's 365 minus 1. And this answer should be 0,0833%.